Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
Mrs. Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. The movie of the day is Game of Death. It's from 1978, but still want to give everyone a spoiler warning.
Yeah, 1978 Game of Death from Robert Klaus. This has Bruce Lee sort of in it. Uh I was like immediately taken back by it. Hey, granted, it's kind of hard. I guess I don't know how you feel about it. It's kind of hard to like judge this film knowing what the film production and film people needed to do to finish this movie.
Is this the movie where he passed away?
So he was already dead for like 3 years. And so he
What?
must have filmed like maybe like a quarter of what he was supposed to film.
Uh,
And then they were like, because from what I understand, granted, Patty next to me was the
the
person looking
historian.
up everything as we are watching the movie. Uh
Yeah,
but I forget, like this movie came out in 1978. I think he died like a few years before that.
got
He
it.
actually died, from what my understanding is that before the release of that most famous movie that he's a part of.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one that he died, like, but he filmed all of it. Um
Yeah,
so I may have to go back and look all this stuff up. Maybe I'm lying.
no,
But
but that helps the case for this movie. Like,
yeah,
cause I'm watching it and I'm like, honestly, as soon as I put it on and I start watching it, and I was like, am I watching the wrong movie?
me too.
I'm like, there's no way this is the movie we're supposed to watch. Like, I was like checking IMDb to see if like the images on IMDb match the movie I was watching, and I was like, there's no way this is the movie that we chose.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because like we chose this film, granted, because like Enter the Dragon is the quintessential Bruce Lee film, that, and so we're like,
Hmm.
oh, like let's choose something that like is kind of down his filmography and stuff, and we chose
Yeah,
Game of Dragon or Game of Death.
yeah, Game of Death.
Uh, and but like when you look it up on IMDb, I'm assuming you saw it too. Is like you see that iconic shot of him wearing the yellow suit and kind of standing on that ledge. But I think that's in Enter
Yes.
the Dragon. That's not in this film, even though he wears a
Well,
yellow suit.
yeah, but then he stole the yellow suit in this one. Somebody else
Yeah,
was wearing it the whole movie, and then he was like, "I like that. I'm gonna take it."
right.
This was a roller coaster ride.
And maybe we're going into like what we didn't like about the film.
I honestly, I'm looking at my notes. I don't have anything in the like section.
Even the granted. So let me see, like the like portion. Granted,
Yeah,
it's from the time that you're seeing Bruce Lee,
yeah.
and because it just feels different, and they get someone. The whole time I was like, yeah, you can't get someone that physically looks like Bruce Lee, like as close,
Mhm.
like you probably get as close as possible,
Yeah,
but you can tell there was differences in the physicality of the person that they chose to play.
which confused the hell out of me.
Me
I'm
too.
like, this does not look like Bruce Lee. What am I watching? But then
There's a
there's
lot of
portions where
shadow
it's like, oh,
shots.
this is Bruce Lee. Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
and then Bruce Lee comes into play, and you're like, what?
yeah, you can tell they reused a lot of shots too, just to kind of like
Yeah.
push Bruce Lee's like face into it. Um, but the times that Bruce Lee is on screen are like, I guess you could say, magical. Uh, but everything else around it, it's pretty difficult to watch.
I like the intro. The intro reminded me, I even put that on my notes. Like the intro reminded me of a James Bond film,
Okay,
like a low
but
budget James Bond film, but a James Bond.
I like the intro too, but the intro did not come into play at all.
Oh no,
Like,
no, no,
why
no,
all these
not at all.
slot machines and roulette
Yeah,
tables and stuff? Like, granted, the one that they do that for the James Bond,
yeah,
it's
it all makes
the
sense.
movie that he's like playing and gambling and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, so I was like, it was a cool intro, and I was like, I thought I was like super
Yeah,
excited. I was like, we're gonna see like Bruce Lee like gamble,
dude.
and all this
Yeah.
stuff, but no.
I thought it was gonna be badass. I was like, oh snap, this intro, this is about to be a good movie. And then you start the movie and you're like, what
Yeah.
did I decide to watch?
But would you take anything as a like that's you only like the intro?
I'm trying to read through my notes to see like if any of these were like, oh yeah, I like that. I already said he stole his iconic yellow outfit in the movie. The opening, the opening fights, the opening fight reminded me of the fight between Bruce Lee and Cliff Booth and freaking Once Upon a Time,
Oh yeah.
but Bruce Lee actually won it. Like, but the fight scenes were corny. Uh, why didn't the girlfriend roll her window up? So they pull into that area where the bad guys are. The bad guys are outside their cars. Bruce tells her, or quote unquote, Bruce tells her, "Hey, stay in the car, no matter what happens." She left the window wide open and then almost gets stabbed in the face by the cane guy.
Right. Like
And I was just questioning, like, what are you doing? I don't know if I have any other if I have any other likes. It was cool to see Kareem yeah,
Kareem?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah,
Yeah, that was and
that
Patty
was
next
pretty
to
cool.
shoot. Patty was like, "Is he really that big?" I'm like, "Yeah, sadly, he's
Man's a
gigantic."
giant. Yes.
They probably had to make the set a little bit bigger just to like, or like
Oh,
pull
for
back
sure.
the camera more just to see everything. Like,
Ultra wide lens just because this guy's so big.
yeah, and Bruce Lee's not the tallest person in the world, but like
No.
Kareem just towers over him. Like,
Oh, Kareem is, yeah. Kareem is
but
literally a building.
hey, let me ask you this: you like basketball quite a bit and
Hmm.
everything. Like, I don't know if you read into the time. Like, was he still playing basketball when he was doing this, like these movies?
78? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
So,
playing because he won like a championship in the 80s with
okay.
Magic.
So, why
70s, 80s, late
did he
70s.
just like martial arts movies? Why did
I
he
think so.
decide?
Because well, he was in Airplane also.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Yeah, so I think he just wanted to be multifaceted. He wanted to be an actor too.
Did it
If I
ever?
was watching, mhm.
Did he ever kind of like do more? I don't recall him in like other movies.
I would have to check his IMDb. Honestly, I only know him for this one, and at least off the top of my head, I only know him for this one and Airplane.
Well, he was in Glass Onion, supposedly. Was he?
What?
Was he just himself?
Why
He
did it
might
show
just
like a
be.
photo of him?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
himself. I forget. Yeah, he I forget where he's in, but he just
Was it at
plays
one of like the
himself.
rich people parties,
Most likely then, because he's not
like Kate
like
Hudson's party or something like that?
during the whole thing,
Yeah.
but we digress.
Yeah.
But
Was there anything else that you liked about it?
not really like it was not an entertaining story. Um
It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was all over. Like you can tell that, like that's the thing where it's like you can just tell. And granted, it kind of lessens the blow knowing that like they had to like kind of make do with it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, the stuff's all over the place. And granted, the editing kind of like suffers from like being able to like interject. Uh, because like there's like some scenes towards the end after he beats Kareem's character,
Hmm.
he fights the guy with like the little like
The cane?
knife cane and everything.
Yeah.
And there's times where like they interject like the dude playing Bruce Lee in that moment and fighting, and then they cut to a moment where like the guy throws a punch at Bruce Lee, but you can tell it's Kareem's character.
Yeah.
And so they kind of reused some of those shots to like make it look like he was fighting that guy.
I definitely put that on my dislikes, like
Yeah.
the bad continuity.
Yeah, there was times where like the background of Bruce Lee's like image was white compared to the
Hmm.
other set, so it's like you can tell they just like used
Superimposed
something.
it.
Yeah, that first one, that was like the most shocking one. I was like, that's why I turned to Patty. Like I said the same thing. Where it's like, I don't know what we're watching. And
You should have done better research.
I think that's when Patty looked up. She was like, I'm pretty sure he's already gone by now. So I
Okay.
was like, oh man, it made me watch the movie a little bit
Oh, like a different
easier.
light. Yeah.
Yeah, knowing that, but I don't know. It was kind of hard to save. The end, it just ends abruptly out of
Yo,
nowhere.
that's in my dislike. The ending. I literally just put the ending.
Yeah. It's like we're sitting
Like,
there, I was like,
what?
is that it? Like is there gonna be something after the credits?
Like at least the movie last week was like it ended and it ended well, and then you see like the behind the scenes. This one just ended, and you're
Yeah.
like, does the casino come into play now? Like, what's going on?
All right. My last thing too that I say, these are all my dislikes.
Uh,
Chuck Norris is listed as an actor in this film, but
oh yeah,
he
he beat him
literally
up.
is. It's only those like beginning shots, and I think that's from Enter the Dragon.
Wait, that was actually Chuck Norris, right?
Yeah. The guy
Because
like he like pulled the hair off of him.
yeah, I saw it. I was like, yo, that looks like Chuck Norris, but I didn't check. And I was like, man, he looks terrible. I was like, that can't be Chuck Norris. So I'm glad you confirmed it's actually Chuck
That's
Norris.
though. Well, I'm wondering if we're talking about this. Like the intro shots have
Uh-huh.
like scenes of like Bruce Lee fighting Chuck Norris, and it's actually Bruce Lee fighting this
Oh, so I
hairy
might be
ass
thinking
dude.
of. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, so the hairy ass dude is Chuck
Yeah.
Norris. That is Chuck.
Okay, that's
That's
what
what
I
he looked
thought.
like back then. That was a real
Yeah.
man. Come on,
Goodness. I guess it is. Yeah.
that's who that's the person that created the legend of Chuck Norris. But like literally, that's the only time you see Chuck Norris, and he's listed as a character in the movie.
That just shows how great this movie
Yeah.
is. The I think we've kind of touched on a good chunk of my dislikes, but one of the greatest scenes in the movie was when uh, they're having that fight in the warehouse, and the guys on the motorcycles are like riding around. He beats one of them up. The motorcycle explodes, and then the next scene is that same guy on his motorcycle chasing him. That was the most amazing scene in the
He survived the
movie.
explosion and picked up another motorcycle.
With no birds. No birds.
Nothing. No,
Just
come on.
got him to start riding a motorcycle.
He's a hired professional. He knows what.
I was like, you gotta be joking with this. Oh, and then I don't know, you probably noticed it, but I don't know if you know what the filter was. So a lot of, at least what I've noticed is a lot of like 70s and 80s films use a dioptic filter. It allows like almost like a split screen look to a scene. And I actually have it in my dislike notes that they overused it. Like you'll see there's scenes where like one person, typically on the left hand side, they'll be super up close, and then there's people behind them. Like there's one person in the foreground, and they look zoomed in close, almost like a fisheye, and then there's people in the background. So it almost mimics a split screen view, but it's not. It's just a filter that does that,
Is that
and they use it.
sort of similar to what like some of those scenes in Assassination of Jesse James, where like they kind of have like
Uh,
an over the shoulder shot where it's like he's kind of
yeah,
close in, but then there's other
and
stuff
then
that's kind of
somebody's in the
happening.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same exact thing, but that they used it properly and they didn't overuse it. But this one, I felt like they overused it.
But do you think I feel like that's like more of a thing about martial arts movies? I feel like they use that quite a bit, right?
Yeah, but I think they use it well. Like I've seen it in crime films, like 70s, 80s crime films, and
Yeah.
they use it well. But this one, it just didn't seem necessary.
You
Like
know,
it was just, it
yeah.
felt out of, at least to me, it felt out of place with
Granted,
a
with
lot
the
of things
grand
that this
scheme of
movie did.
things too, that they're using a lot of different techniques to like interject Bruce Lee. So then when you start
Yeah,
using other tactics seems like it's too much. Like it's like
It's a
overwhelming
mimic.
the
I mean,
film.
it's not a mimic. It's just a ploy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would
this
you
was
call it? What's
a
myopic?
dioptic filter.
Dioptic
Yeah.
filter. Oh, see, we're learning something new. We learn something new on Sunday. When a day I'm gonna go watch NASCAR, a bunch of cars going around the around the track. I learn about this filter.
Hey, most intelligent, most intelligent racers.
There you go. Um, that's interesting. Yeah, it's there's a lot going on in the film. I think that's like there's like no way around that.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's difficult to watch where it's like it and it was funny, it's like I don't know how you watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I found it for free on like I think Freevee, but I had to
Mm-hmm.
watch it with a bunch of commercials. And like when I got
Oh
to a commercial,
goodness.
and I was like, oh my God. It was a long movie too. It was like, or it felt long.
It was like an hour 40. It
Yeah, so it still felt pretty long. And granted, it probably felt longer with all
was
the commercials I had
slow.
to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell. This is a tangent too. I watched
Hmm.
it on Freebie, and like every single commercial was that freaking new Toyota Prius. Every
Goodness.
single commercial. We would take a break or like go to commercial break, and it was literally four commercials of the same car,
That's
and then it'll
terrible.
go back, and it's like, and
That's
then you go to
terrible.
commercial like 30 minutes later, and it's four commercials of the same car. like, I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
Freebie
want
has
to
to
buy this
figure
car
it out.
anymore. It looks nice, but I don't feel like buying the car anymore.
You burnt me out of it. Like I'm over
Yeah.
it.
But I was glad I did not rent it also.
Oh, I'd be
Because
pissed.
I think I was gonna rent it for like $4, and
Oof.
so that would have been
This
a tough
conversation
four
would have been
dollars.
different. Yeah,
Probably.
this conversation would have been different. You would have been
I would have been
pissed.
like, I need my money back. How the hell you argue that?
This movie was terrible. Just write an angry letter.
But
Dear Mr. Amazon, dear Mr.
yeah,
Bezos,
right. Give me my
I
$4
paid
back.
$4 for this. It
I
was
know you have
terrible.
it.
I want my money back. Dude,
But
yeah, just the whole time I'm just quite like I'm just typing questions like why this? Why this? The entire movie.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy I watched Enter the Dragon first and didn't watch this first.
right. Man, imagine like watching this like back then, and you go to the movie theaters and thinking like, oh shit, like they found some like archival footage of Bruce Lee and everything or
Bruce.
whatever. They figured out how to make a movie with them and everything, and then
Yeah.
you see this. And it almost kind of tarnishes because like
Hold on.
I huh?
Yeah. No, I would say yeah, it kind of tarnishes things.
Yeah, but the guy that plays Bruce Lee, I was like, man, the way he's kind of like acting like Bruce Lee, I was like, it's for me, I was like, this sounds kind of offensive. Like all those like the yells and stuff. Granted, Bruce Lee does that, but I was like, man, like
Yeah, but he's
Bruce
just
Lee
like
can do that because he
excessive.
wants to do it.
Yeah. He doesn't have to do it. Like it's
Yeah,
not, yeah. Like what are you
but
doing? Just more
I
questions than answers in this movie.
so we don't beat down a dead horse.
Yeah.
What's what'd you end up rating it?
The funny thing, uh, I saw your rating. I was gonna be nice. I was
Me
actually gonna be
too.
nice. So I went in the app, went in the letterbox to track it and give it a rating. And in my head, I'm like, yo, this movie was terrible. But I'm like, I'll be nice. I'll give it a two, 2.5. And then I saw your rating. And I was like, oh, okay, forget it. And I gave it the same rating you did. I gave it a
We're
1.5.
throwing blows. You're like Jason was not nice.
If I could have given it a zero, or honestly, I could have given it a zero, but yeah,
It's
gave it,
funny
yeah,
because like I don't know if you watched some this whole weekend we watched some pretty bad movies. So we watched this Game of Death. Yesterday we decided to watch Hail Caesar. from
Oh,
the
that movie's
Coen
the
brothers.
worst movie
It is
in
hor
the world.
Patty chose it because she wanted to watch it, and I was like,
Oh
after the movie, I was like, I'm
goodness.
sorry you chose it, but this movie was a piece of shit.
Yeah, honestly. Like I
Yeah,
don't tell people I've seen that movie. I've seen it and I was like excited because all the big names in it and seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And I watched it and I had never told a person that I've watched that movie.
right, man. It's like it's kind of sad that it's like on our
It's
letterbox
so
now
bad.
or my letterbox, but I gave that a 1.5. So now I'm
Okay.
kind of thinking like
No,
technically
this should
that
get
movie
like
was a
half a
little
star.
bit better. Like
Yeah.
I think one for Game of Death is like, but on
Yeah,
letterbox
but
it's
the
like 2.5 on average.
oh goodness.
So that
People were
means
just
some
being nice.
people gave it like threes or fours and stuff. So
Yeah, somebody
maybe
really liked the way he ripped that doctor's paper mache head off.
right.
Gave it a better rating than we did.
That was like a
You
hard
know,
cut to like this guy's like head falling
it's
apart.
a shattered head on the ground. And then even the freaking paper mache head in the coffin. Like they dug this man up.
Right.
They dug this man's coffin up and then smashed the paper mache head. Oh my goodness.
Storytelling, come on.
We should have watched this during the comedy month.
You probably
It's
had one better feelings about it, probably, but
I would have given it a four, honestly. I would have given it a four.
well, we digress. Bruce
Oh
Lee is a
goodness.
legend and everything, but it's kind of
R.I.P. man.
it's hard to like I
R.I.P.
wonder if like man, like nowadays with people's contracts, like is this why people try to have things where like when I die, do not do anything with me in it again. Please.
Yeah, just end the
Because
movie. Well,
yeah, you
they're
have no
still,
say of what's going
yeah,
on.
yeah, only people is your family. Like they're still
Yeah.
utilizing Paul Walker in the Fast series.
Are they? No.
Yeah, his character's supposed to be finished in this new movie. It's been like
It's
5 movies since this man passed away.
yeah. It's been like 10
Yeah.
years since he's died, I think.
Yes, and they're still like, hey, he's around. He's
I don't
taking
know.
care of his baby somewhere.
The
Yeah,
decent thing about that is that his brother looks like him. So his brother looks exactly like him, or at least
yeah, but just
close to
end
it.
it. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
but
like I feel like you let him right off into the sunset fairly well with
that was
that last
perfect.
scene. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Use
Uh,
his brother for that. End the movie or end his character in the movie. That's it.
yeah, unless you're like trying to do it to like donate some money to a foundation and stuff, like hopefully, like
Or his
or his
family.
family, yeah, like but
I
again,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think
Doesn't make
everybody
sense.
should sign contracts. Do not touch my face after or like
Yes,
do anything with me after
I'm
I die.
done. Like I haven't seen what's that man's name? His son is in Licorice Pizza. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, is that his son?
Once he was done, yeah, that's his son.
Whoa.
Yeah, gotta
That's
throw a
true.
little
Once he was
bombshell in there
done,
for you.
once
Yeah,
he
once
was
he was done,
done,
he
he
was
was
done.
like, yeah. But I guess like I don't know. Yeah, it does. I guess it doesn't matter the circumstances of the death.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, interesting. But last question to you: will you buy will you buy this movie for your personal movie collection?
Um, no. If I look at it as a comedy, then possibly. But if I look at it how it is, heck no.
I feel like if I like want to be like a completionist of like if I bought like one Bruce Lee movie, then
Mhm.
if you want to buy all of them, you kind of have to buy this one, no matter what.
Do you though? Oh,
He's
that's a heavy question mark. Like,
he's literally in like 20 minutes of it, but
if that, man.
yeah, right.
If that.
But yeah, no, I don't see myself. I can see myself forgetting about this movie ever existed
Yep.
after this probably.
Yes.
So
We'll never
yeah.
tell people we watched it.
Well, now it's gonna live forever on the internet. So
That's true. Never mind. Everybody's gonna know.
But we do want to say Bruce Lee is the greatest and stuff. And his family's
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
I actually listened to a podcast of Bruce Lee's daughter talking about uh her father and stuff, and the brother Brandon,
Oh yeah.
um, who shockingly I think they died in the same age too.
Similarly, right?
Yeah, like well, he died in a Brandon died in a
Movie
filming
set.
accident. Yeah, in a movie set and everything.
I
Was it
thought
The Crow?
Bruce same way. Yeah, The Crow.
Bruce technically died from like an allergic reaction.
Oh wow.
It was
Okay.
like some weird circumstances that like he got like an allergic reaction and then immediately like somehow um but yeah, Brandon died tragically with like um
Stunt, right?
like a gun going off incorrectly, I think too.
Ugh.
I think again, do
Yeah, I
your own
just know it was a
research.
movie. Yeah, it was a movie situation. Or a
Yeah,
movie set situation.
yeah, but I think they died at like the same age, which is like
Like,
crazy.
yeah.
But
R.I.P.
it motivated me to want to wake up and change my life and do exercise and stuff. But
2 finger push-ups.
yeah, there you go. But we'll leave it to it. You want to take us out, Kai?
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we see you next week for another one.